you've ever struggled with classroom management, student buy-in, or just want your classroom to feel more like a community than a command center, this video is for you. Well, let's start with rules. Now, don't get me wrong, structure is essential, but traditional rules often feel top-down. They're teacher-created, teacher-enforced, and usually centered around compliance. And what happens when a rule gets broken? It becomes about consequences, not reflection. Here's a common pain point. You got a no cell phone rule, and a student keeps checking their phones under the desk. You address it again and again, but nothing changes. Why? Because the rule doesn't invite students into the why. It just tells them what not to do. And that's frustrating for you and for them. Now let's imagine a different approach. You walk over and say, hey, I noticed your phone's out. Can I ask what pulled your attention to it right now? Maybe the student says, I just got a text from my mom. Instead of jumping to put it away, you respond with, got it. I know staying connected with home matters, but here's the thing. When phones come out, even briefly, it breaks focus, not just for you, but for everyone around you. Can we agree to set it aside during work time so you and your classmates can stay in the zone? If something's urgent, let's talk. Now you've named the why, opened the door for context, and invited the student into an agreement, not just a rule. That small shift builds trust and ownership. Now imagine starting the year by saying, let's talk about how we want our classroom to feel and what we need from each other to make that happen. That's the start of a classroom agreement. It's co-created, not dictated. Instead of don't talk while I'm talking, you might co-create. We listen when someone else is speaking. See, there's a difference there. It's not just about behavior, it's about values. Another example, instead of no late work, an agreement might be we communicate when we need more time. See, you're teaching responsibility and setting expectations without shame. This shift promotes ownership. Students are more likely to follow agreements they've helped shape. And when issues come up, you can easily say, let's revisit our agreement. Are we holding up our end? Because it becomes a learning moment, not a lecture. So let's talk about how we can create those classroom agreements. Step 1, start with a question. Ask, what helps you feel safe and respected in a classroom? Or what makes a space feel welcoming and focused? Step 2, record responses. Use chart paper or a shared doc. Group similar ideas. You'll start seeing themes: respect, accountability, kindness, focus. Then step 3, draft it together. Turn those ideas into we will or we agree to statements. Keep it positive, simple, and student friendly. Step 4, get buy-in. Have students sign it. Revisit it regularly. Post it on the wall, not as a list of do's and don'ts, but as a living document. Step 5, reflect and revise. Maybe halfway through the semester, reflect as a class. Are these still working for us? Do we need to revise anything? Now, I know what you might be thinking. All right, yeah, this sounds really good, Sheldon. But what if I have students that don't buy into this? Or what if my students don't take this seriously? And that's totally fair. Well, here's the truth. It takes time to build trust. But giving students voice and choice, especially in how their learning environment operates, builds investment. And if they don't follow through, that's a conversation you can have with your students. Hey, listen, you helped build this. What's getting in the way? Follow through with the same energy you would a traditional rule, but with more curiosity and less control. You're guiding, not just governing. Let's wrap this up. Language shapes culture. Rules focus on control. Agreements focus on connection. This isn't just a feel-good switch. It's a foundational shift in how we relate to students. So as you prep for the school year or reflect mid-year, ask yourself, are you creating rules for your students or agreements with them? Start small, one agreement, one question, one conversation. That might be all it takes to start changing the way your classroom feels for you and your students.